Sanu, everyone! Welcome to our edition of the See the World with Ajala Nene. And I have someone who's very dear to me. By the way, guys, let me put it out there. She's my sister-in-law. Because our husbands are cousins, direct cousins. But she's really special. And the first time I met her, I was like, I didn't even know she was in tourism space. I didn't even know she was my sister-in-law.
Yeah.
Yes. Until life now brought us together. So I would like to introduce Omowumi Etiko. She's a seasoned hospitality expert with over 14 years of diverse experience in hospitality management, human resources, travel and tourism, and logistics across various industries. As the founder and CEO of nuSafiri Hospitalities, nuSafiri Hospitality Group. She spearheads nuSafiri Experience. That's your which specializes in luxury, bespoke travel and wellness retreats. Yeah, and of course the consultancy part, which focuses on human resources and hospitality management.
Yeah.
Hi, sis.
Hi.
It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
honoring
you
this
so much.
invitation.
Thank
And I've not seen your fine face for a while. So
I know.
that's why my hug was long.
Nice and
I was
deep.
Soaking in. Welcome,
Thank
Omowumi.
you.
So let's go straight to it.
Okay.
How did you get here? Why the tourism space? I know you had a 9 to 5. You left that and then entered into tourism. Why?
So first of all, I'd say thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Go chef for
and
coming.
I'm grateful to be able to talk. I think it's definitely good to talk. So why? How did I get here? Sometimes I ask myself how I got here. But
let me help you to articulate it.
Yes.
Trace it back.
Yes, trace it back. So, I think it's been a journey. That's for sure.
Years.
Yes, it's been a journey of
I'm just
so many different things. Yeah, no, but not just in the tourism, So, it's been, kind of a culmination of a couple of different things, and it's really been a journey. And what kickstarted this was my wedding, our wedding. That's what kickstarted this.
My husband could not attend it. He was so burnt. I remember.
And it's been 10 years actually. And so it was a destination wedding. And I had the most amazing planner. But then I also had guests who were trying to book hotels, guests who were trying to pay, lots of questions, and nobody to really attend to them. And when I say nobody, it would have been me. It was me, but
The bride.
The bride. And while I was doing like 20,000 things, that was stressful.
Yeah, it is stressful.
So I pushed through it. She tried to help me as much as she could. That is the planner, but I had to take it on.
Yourself.
And in that process, I was like, oh my goodness, this is a service, because I don't want anyone else to feel what I felt. I don't want people to feel the stress that I felt. I don't want, what if I could take this and literally provide it to people and make it easy for them, make it seamless, take the stress off of them. What if I could help them in this way? And that is really where all of this was born out of. Now, prior to that, I had left my 9 to 5.
What were you doing there?
I was working as an HR consultant.
Okay. Sorry, what did you study?
I studied psychology and then human resources and business.
Okay.
So the truth is, in my life, I'm called to people, I'm called to serve. That's the truth.
Yeah.
And it's just different expressions of the same thing. And this is what when we spoke a little earlier, that I was saying, truly, it's a journey of obedience. And sometimes I don't know where I'm going to end. That's the truth. I only know the now, and I'm only listening for the next. Yeah. So that's it. Because I remember then, nobody would have told me, oh, you're going to leave your job and then you're going to try to, open a cafe. Then from there, you're going to start planning to what? It just is, it did not resonate. But, that was actually it. And prior to that, the Lord said, okay, it's time to leave your job. And I'm like, okay, then what am I going to go and be doing? And then I wanted to open a cafe. And what was the point of this cafe? It was to create a space for people to come to clear their mind. That was the purpose. And again, my mandate was you need to take care of people. But when I left, it didn't quite work out that way. Some things fell through, and I was like, okay, Lord, now what? And he's like, wait, I will tell you. And I'm saying it like this now. Doesn't mean that's how it was happening then. Or, yeah. And then the wedding comes, and that happens. That is the difficult, I would say, the challenging period with the booking of the hotels and all of that. And then,
how many guests did you have altogether?
We had about 100 and almost 150 guests.
Oh my goodness!
Yes, and the purpose of going away was so that it would be small, because I don't
does.
do well with big.
I know you're a very intimate person. You like your space, but even destination weddings are normally not that much.
Right.
I usually know it's 50.
Right, but
150.
Yes, it was a lot.
Kukuma does not the wedding in Nigeria.
But then we figured if it was 150 there in Nigeria, it would
I
have been
mean,
1,000 or
500, okay.
something,
and 1,000. I was going to say 500. 1,000.
And I would
And
not
it's
have
true
been
because
able
of
to
the
handle
family
that.
background and people that you have had a whole lot of people flocking.
I guess so. Family, you know what I mean? Of course, we had some family that couldn't join us. That wasn't a good thing, but, at the same time.
But that's why people do destination weddings in the first place now.
Right.
Mommy.
I guess so. But some people, they're like...
I know.
Yeah.
People do. They say, we will do, like my mother-in-law.
Yeah.
He did his wedding. He came back here with the wife to do their traditional wedding.
Right.
And it was a carnival.
Right.
Then we, the intimate family, immediate family, we went to London for their wedding.
Right.
And they made sure it wasn't more that in fact, they were warning my mother-in-law money.
You only have 5 people.
The place we are booked.
Right.
And true, the place was very small. They made sure of that.
Yeah.
So I know that most people do destination weddings just to reduce the hustle of that crowd.
Right.
Especially if you guys are a very intimate couple. Unless you like carnival like me.
No.
It's a carnival.
Can't hack it. So, honestly, even then, when I look back, I'm like, wow, I could have really... I don't even think I was as present as I could have been if it was even smaller than that. So even with the number of guests, it was, it was a lot for me. But so from there, I'm like, okay, so what? He's like, I'll show you. And the truth is, as I planned the engagement, and because I didn't have a planner for the engagement, I had a coordinator, who we handed over to, and then and the wedding and all those things, all the different little details.
Those tiny details.
He started to show me what the next was. So I'm like, okay, so where do I go from here? Because if I'm not so sure and I'm not all these things, how am I going to even serve anybody? I mean, the truth is there's some things I didn't know then, again, that I know now. I know now to get out of my own way. I know now that there are things that he will help me do, even if it's not in my person, if that makes sense. Then I was like, I doubt from where, how, But I started to tell people, I started with my friends and tell them, this is a service I'm offering. If you know anybody that, wants to do like a destination wedding or a destination celebration, please send them my way. And that was honestly how it started. So that was one aspect. The other aspect was, he said, I want you to create trips that are made for people. That is, it is tailored specifically to them. Okay. I'm like, okay,
so
why?
Not the normal where we have a group trip or we have this trip. You specifically for that person.
Exactly.
Okay.
And what's the reason for that? Because he's like, I want them to feel seen. I want them to know that someone can take the pieces of their hearts and the things that they enjoy and actually curate an experience for them. And, so there's nothing wrong with group trips, there's nothing wrong with packages and all of that. I mean, this is what he was saying. People like that as well. But there's some people who they're like, no, I actually just want something for me. Tailor-made, exactly. And so I'm like, okay. And then that wasn't actually something that was out. It wasn't it wasn't
even
a
now
thing.
It's not that popular.
Right.
Yeah, and there are few people that do it.
There are lots of reasons why it's thank you, my sister. That's what I'm telling you.
Have you ever asked why I'm a tour operator or travel agent? Ordinary just booking for people. I know how crazy I go.
Yes.
It's like I have access to just do these things without paying for free, but I can't. Yeah. I get goose pimples. So imagine after doing all the work, you're not going to say you don't like it. Hey,
yes,
Jesus.
Exactly.
Like after all this work.
Exactly.
So you guys, I give you guys thumbs up, man. Especially people like you.
It's a lot, and you have to love it. And not just love it, that is, love it from your heart, but you have to love and understand it from the inside of your being. You have to, because otherwise it gets a lot. It's gotten a lot. I've had times when I had to step out and step back and stop and I'm like, Lord, I don't think I can do this anymore. And he's like,
Auntie.
says who?
Oh, you ain't got
You
it.
know.
Say my language. Who told you?
Right. So we go from that, and I'm telling people, and I'm like, okay, this is a service we offer. I'd love to be able to help you in this manner. And then it comes to payment. How do we handle payment? Since people at that time are used to packages, they're used to costs being embedded in
Inside,
things and stuff. And the Lord is, no, I want you to be transparent. I'm like, okay, then help me. How am I going to do
Make
it? I mean,
money
I thought it
from
was a
it.
straightforward thing, to be honest, because in other parts of the world, there are people who were actually doing that. So I'm like, okay, I'll just let you know that, look, I will do everything I can to get the best that you can possibly get. Again, I'm not selling the cheapest. That's not my model. The model is that we are a service. It's that we will help you. It's that you're too busy to do it. It's that you don't know how to do it. It's that you want someone to assist you. It's that you don't want the stress.
The
You know what I
hand-holding.
mean? The hand holding, the pocket planner, that's what you want. So it's an extra. It's not really
Extra.
right. So it's not, we're not talking, it's not the cheapest, if you get what I mean. But a lot of people who come as well for it are not necessarily looking for the cheapest either. They're looking for quality. They're looking for what makes them happy. So we're like, okay, how are we gonna do this? And it's like, be transparent. These are their costs. These are your fees. That was the beginning of the headache for me, because a lot of people did not like to see fees. They don't like to see that they're paying extra for something. Even if they know they're paying for something, they don't really want to see it.
Do you think it's a mentality?
Yes, I think it's a mentality, because my foreign clients, that's not an issue.
Have a problem
No,
with it.
for us, it is. It's something that we had to push through, and as with any business owner, there are people who they have like, big teams, and it's like this whole, institution behind them.
I'm saying, I'm trying to remember all those movies I've watched where you enter one office, see everybody's so busy,
Right,
big team,
exactly.
and there's one boss telling them what to do.
Exactly.
It's not like that.
It's not like that. Now, picture, this is a small business. We're a boutique company. Let's be honest. So the truth is, a lot of the work that's coming, it's me, maybe one person and two people. At some point, I think the biggest we've had on our team maybe has been 5. And that is even with people who are doing like protocol and, going out to do certain things. So, and we're here churning out a lot of work, and it's just few people.
And people don't want to pay.
And people, thank you. And people don't want to pay, and people
don't
don't
want to give you your money.
And then people don't always understand that it takes time.
Yeah, it takes time.
So it has been a journey. So that's how we started, and it was encouraging at first, in the sense that people were like, oh yes, I want this thing for me, even though the payment part was a bit, off. But we pushed through, and we kept pushing, and then I hit a point where I got pregnant, and I had to be away, and I was just like, well, this thing, how many clients do I really have at the end of the day? Maybe it's not something I should do. Maybe it's not worth it, because when, again, God put something in your heart does not mean that it's going to start yielding.
Yes.
So for me, it's like I'm wasting time. It's like no money is coming inside. It's like the time and the energy is not, equal. It's not matching, what we're doing. But then after I had my first son, he's like, I'm like, okay, then show me a sign if you want me to continue this, and because the way I'm feeling, it's like I can't go on. I keep having to start and stop, let go of people, change my team. It was just so much for me at the time. And then nobody's going to, I can't tell people, oh, I don't have 20,000 people. There's no, do you know what I mean?
You say you have service, give it to us.
Thank you. So that means that regardless, I need to deliver. And it was really telling on me. And I also had some really bad experiences with people who actually like to do these things for themselves, and then they now say they want your service, but they don't really let you offer your service. So as you're searching, they're searching as the so there's no point now. Thank you. So I actually had one lady I remember, and she's like, there's nothing special about you and this and what you do. It was deep, and it entered me well, but it was the enemy. That's the truth, because God and the enemy, and what I mean by that is these things will happen. They are supposed to make you stronger. Not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody. That's not how the world is. That's not how life is.
Yep.
So but then the enemy, in the sense that it was trying to kill my spirit and trying to make me feel like there was nothing special about what I was doing. So again, while I was there, he sent someone to me that was like, I'm going on a honeymoon, you know, my wedding is coming up and I don't want anybody else to plan this but you. And I'm like, why me? And he's like, I heard that you're just the best at this. And I'm like, me in what little space, you know? And I would forever be grateful to them because and God, because I know that he was trying to
let you know that you're
on the right path. Doesn't mean I was the best. It just meant that he was trying to encourage me, and that for me was everything. So I took it on and delivered, and they were happy. And then I came back to Nigeria and I was like, okay, Lord, yeah, let's do this thing. How are we going to do it? And he's like, okay, so you're gonna go and register with Nanta, you're going to go and register with Natop, you're going to start going to all these tourism events.
Yeah. I remember when you buzzed me once, I said, all these events, please be carrying me with you.
He's like, you're going to do this and you're going to do that and do this. And I'm like, okay, all right, I'll do it.
He was like, no.
He's like, oh, you're going to join this business accelerator program. There are things you need to learn.
Yeah, I remember that one you joined. How was the experience, by the way? Did it really help you?
It really did help me. It really did.
What's the name of that
it was called, I don't think they do it anymore, but it was called SME Boutiques Women Accelerator Program, SWEC. Yeah. It was.
I think you're one of the best students.
I won the pitch.
You won the pitch. I remember very well.
I was like, hey, Father. I mean, I think again the Lord was just trying to encourage me.
He's encouraging me now too with this podcast.
Because he has the way he does things, and you know, and you just never know where it's going.
HR part come in? Is it because of experience? Because I can see you have the human resources and hospitality management and the consultancy part.
Right.
How did all those come up?
Yes. So HR was what I was doing. Well, I went to school, and then that's what I worked at that's what I did professionally in the company that I was in the corporate world. And when I was leaving, even before I left, actually, someone I know had a restaurant. Mm-hmm. My brother-in-law and my sister, they had a restaurant, and they hired me to train their staff to do it's like, okay, what can you do for us, from your eyes, what do you think, I'm like, okay, customer service, this is what we need, and that and so I went in fully into that, and I enjoyed it. Again, I don't really like standing in front of
I know. Yeah, introvert.
But I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed the training process. Yeah. And I was like, okay, you know what? This is actually a way for me to give back in this regard, in this space that is hospitality. There are things that are my strengths, and I can do this. Mm-hmm. If someone comes to me and they say, oh, this is what I have this company, I have this, restaurant, this is what I can do. We can do customer service. So we can help in that regard. Okay, performance management.
Let me push you in, even though this is kind of like a sad story. Okay. I know that you managed a restaurant in Landmark.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, guys, they've really broken that place up, and it's really very painful for us.
A week today.
Mm-hmm. A week today. I remember you showed me the picture.
Yeah.
How did you get that gig, and is it something you still offer despite what has happened right now?
So that really was hard. That broke my heart, to be honest.
Everybody's heart, my darling. And I know that people like it. When I show it to my husband, I say, hey, whoa.
Yeah. So how did I get that? So part of this, my mandate that God has given me.
The mandate from the Lord.
Which involves creating avenues for families to bond, creating avenues for individuals to find themselves, creating avenues for, basically, I would say, just for people to be more in tune with their inner beings, which would result overall in wholeness and wellness of their mind, their body, their spirit. So one of the things that I did then was I had this kids event called Kidszone. Landmark had just opened then, and they were trying to raise awareness. It was a beautiful beach. A lot of people didn't know they were there, and the Lord had been telling me, as he's constantly telling me, to create avenues for this to happen, for people, for connection. Because life is too hectic. A lot of times we don't realize how withdrawn our children, or even we become, even from our spouses, from our we don't actually realize the impact that life has on us. And so he's like, this is what I want you to do, and you need to do whatever it takes to make sure that you do that, because well, I'm digressing a bit, but because
But that will trace back to how you got this thing.
this is true. So, because at the end of the day, in our society, what makes our society? Families, right? Everyone comes out of a family. So if individuals are whole, if children are whole, if children are grounded and their parents see them and they see their parents, then they who make up these families, because it's those people, it's every child that's born that's going into the world, right?
Yeah.
So if the individuals and the families are actually whole and they're centered, so then the society will be whole and centered. And so therefore, our nation will be whole and centered. Yeah. So it's kind of a ripple effect. So back to how I got that gig. So after doing the kids event at Landmark, the next thing I wanted to do was the kids club. Because I'm like, let's just pour into the kids. Let's teach them. Let's, everything. Let's do it. Let's love them. And they were kind of working on a couple of things at the time.
Okay.
So I submitted a proposal for it, but it wasn't the time at the time. So as time went on, now one of the things that I have in my heart and my husband as well is we know we're going to have resorts. The Lord has spoken to us about so many things that, everything is almost just like a step. Everything is like a step in that direction. Exactly. So some time went on, and there was a building at on Landmark, and so I was contacted that there's a building here. We're looking for someone that will take it as their own. Are you interested? I'm like, there's a building, this was in the middle of COVID, by the way. There was something I was doing then the Lord had told me to do. It was called Varti, and Varti was virtual party planning, and that was pretty much to connect people virtually. And before it became a thing that there was food being delivered and all these things, he was like, this is what I want you to do. You're going to deliver food. You're going to have events online. People are still going to celebrate their special events, and they'll eat their food with their special notes, and they will know that, like, even though they're stuck in their house, they are connected. And honestly, I ran with it. It was scary, but I ran with it. So in the middle of this is when we're contacted, and I'm like, it's COVID, but that was it. So I'm like, okay, Lord, all right, I see you. So I go there. I love the space. It's a building. It's just the structure, and there's nothing else there. Now, there was someone that I believe they had, when they took over the property, it belonged to someone. Okay. And then they took over the property, and then they had tried to get someone to manage it, but some things fell through. There was a whole situation. I don't really know the details of it, but I just know that I was contacted. I was shown a building, and hey, do you want to manage it? Do you want to love it as yours? Do you want to take it on? And I'm like, okay, how would this work? How would this be? So I walk around and I take it back to God, and I'm like, okay, is this, again, because we have somewhere that we're trying to go to. Yeah. I saw this as an opportunity to walk in that light. It's not because I'd ever managed anywhere before at the time. That was 4 years ago. I hadn't, in terms of a restaurant or a lounge. But he's like, this is an opportunity for you to pour into this place. Yeah. And so I get to work.
How was the experience before all this happened?
It was amazing.
Did you have challenges? I know you did, but I have to ask.
Oh my gosh, a lot of challenges. It's not easy. It's actually not easy to see something from birth and deliver. It's not. It's not easy to be in this economy and stay delivering. It's
agree.
Not easy to have partners, shareholders. It's tough. It's not easy to manage staff. Like, hospitality is hard work, because when everyone's sleeping, you are awake.
Yes.
When people are home for Christmas, you are open. When people, New Year, name it, you have to be there to be ready to receive and care for people.
And when we even take the holidays, only like 2 or 3 days.
Exactly. You always have to be on it. Yeah. And so it was challenging. I had several breakdowns. My hair fell out at some point.
My world.
But you know what? It only made me stronger, because it got to a point where we had processes and systems in place that things were running on their own. And even when they started running on their own, I'm like, hey, Nigerian business, you have to be there all the time. I'm having palpitations and all these things. But do you know what? From different conversations and even from the Lord himself, he's like, why is it that when things are actually going okay, you can't even You
Don't
can't
worry,
sit
it's
down.
okay. You're not the only one. Don't worry.
What you need to identify is the fact that you've actually created a system that
That's
can work.
Yeah.
And so I had to rest in that, and I had to really take that in, and so that's how that was. It was beautiful. We were part of many people's lives. Birthdays, so many
I know
things.
we've come there once or twice to come and sit down and eat and enjoy the swimming pool.
Yeah.
How is it been now with this devastating thing that's happened? That landmark has been the beachfront has been torn down. I use that word. How's that been?
It's been hard. It's been hard trying to think about
what next.
Next steps. Yes.
Yeah, next steps.
I think.
Are they giving you guys any compensation?
So talking about next steps.
Okay. I see what you did there. No problem. Moving on. Wow.
I think the biggest thing for us was now we're going to have almost 40 staff out of work.
Oh, dear Lord.
I mean, on the beach, there's almost 3,500 staff.
Yeah.
But for us,
I thought
40,
it was more safe.
Yeah, almost 4,000, 3,500 to 4,000, from outsourced staff to, primary staff and everything. So we're like, we have almost 40 people to care for. And what do we do, And especially because it wasn't like we had time to prepare.
They didn't even give you guys time. Because I know the landmark owner was trying to lobby.
They were
with the
working
trying to lobby, but they bought their bulldozer and started bulldozing.
Exactly. So that was hard. We're still dealing with it. Yeah. I mean, it's a week ago today. So luckily we've had great partners, and when I say partners, I mean people in hospitality that we've known and we have personal relationships with, that we've been able to reach out and say, hey, we have staff, would you be interested, just so that we can place them somewhere and we don't just say, hey, bye, it's been good, because for them and for us, we're a family. So it's important that you take care of family, and my hope is that they go where they're going and they know that nobody left them alone. Fine, things happened, but they were still cared for, they were still thought about, they were still given the opportunity to keep going.
It's about people, and it's not just about the people you take care of, the people that work with you.
Exactly.
And that's very important.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's get to something a bit more fun. Okay. I can see we're getting a bit serious. Which anyway, whether we like it or not, it's our passion. Yeah. So definitely will be. So 3 things people don't know about you.
3 things people don't know about me. Wow. Okay.
Number 1.
I really like to dance.
You do?
Really, really, really. Yes.
I don't really see you dancing, Sha.
I know. I see you. And that's the thing.
So you hide in your room to be dancing. Wow.
I was actually on a dance team when I was in college. I was the captain.
You were even captain on.
So all those basketball games that you see like on TV. We used to dance in the middle. It's what I'm laughing because it's making me blush.
You're blushing. Even me, I won't tell.
Because they're like 2 different people. So what I realize is, how you can have a character. So I really used to understand the whole Beyonce and Sasha first thing. I actually understood it because
alter ego.
Alter ego, because it's kind of like you get on stage and everything else goes away. But the moment you get on stage, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm back to myself. But then something I'm learning about that is also that, that there's the version of ourselves that God has created that is the fullness of ourselves. Yeah. It's our environment and experiences that start to change us. Yeah. So sometimes when I'm thinking about myself and when I'm just trying to find my way, I keep trying to go back to who were you before life happened to you, because that's really who you are, right? Yeah, fine, really experiences make you stronger, but there's something inside there, It's one crazy. So one dancing. Nice. I don't know if I can. I'm not going to lie, but I like it, Sha.
Captain. Number 2. Joe.
No, don't worry. I know you're both school. Number 2, let's see. Something people don't know about me. I have a thing for uniforms.
Really?
Yes. I can't say men in uniforms because my husband would have my head. So it's not about the men. Even for me, for women, in fact, for anybody in uniforms, I have a thing. So at some point, I tried to join the Navy.
And you have been a cute Navy officer. Because you fine, girl. Are you
Okay,
serious?
so I tried to join the Navy and,
It didn't
ask
work.
me, what do I?
Because of the
Uniform.
uniform.
And I loved their discipline, and I
Yeah,
loved
I do.
their heart of service. I
Yeah.
loved that.
And it actually
And
encompasses the kind of person you are.
I guess so in a way, right? Because I mean, it's just now I'm thinking about it, their heart
Yeah.
of service.
Yeah.
So I like that. And then at one point, the army, and yeah, it didn't work out.
Didn't
so
work out. What about police?
I came back, but I never reached there. That was never an interest, which is so interesting. It never was. So that's number
You
two.
love uniforms.
I do. Oh
Who
my
knows?
goodness.
You have been a nice air hostess too, Sha.
I thought about it.
You know, you look very cute.
I thought about it.
Talking with the pilots. I am number 3 before we continue.
Number 3. I don't know. I don't know. I can't think of number 3 off the top of my head.
Okay, all right. Something about you that we need to know.
Something
the other
about
part.
me.
Since you cannot say something we don't know. Something about you
Something
that
you
we
don't
need
know.
to know. That you like us to know.
That I'd like you to know.
It could be about your character, about
Okay.
the skill you have.
I think.
Say
Oh,
that
I don't know. I'm thinking. Well, okay. I think that something I'd like for you to know is that. I mean, which I feel like you already know, but I'm really choosing and working hard to live life by the whispers.
Yeah, by the whispers.
And that there's a book, Live by the Whispers, that was written by Dr.
What's the
Sherry Lewis.
What's the name?
Living by the Whispers.
Living by the whispers.
And by this amazing woman who happens to be my friend, and she wasn't my friend. I knew her from afar, but she's now my friend, and she's a mother, and she's a sister, and she's so many things. But that book, she's firstly a powerful woman of God, and that book is basically just talking about being able to hear the Holy Spirit and live that way. So I think if that is what I am working to live my life by right now. And when I go through my story, I see how God has been guiding me all the way.
With the whispers.
With the Holy Spirit. Yeah. And where I am now is, because for the past year, I've been asking, what do you want me to do? Because the truth is, business hasn't been great. It hasn't.
Very honest, yeah.
So I can't act like it has. Do we have some clients? Yes. Are they people that have, some people that have, like they're high net worth, yes, but not a high net worth. But that doesn't always translate when it comes to effort,
Yes.
So one of the things I've been asking him is, how am I still here? How have I toiled for so long? And it still feels like I'm constantly starting. And I've really he keeps telling me to just trust him. But one of the things he told me for a while, and this has been like 3 years now, was about the retreats. And he said, the same way I told you, I want you to create experiences for people that would literally transform them. It's the same way I want you to create retreats. Now, retreats where people are coming away to be with me, people are coming away to center themselves, people are coming away to connect with their innermost selves.
Yeah, there will be.
I want you to do that for families. I want families to go away and be together, and let there be opportunities for kids to learn and for kids to bond with their parents. Let there be opportunities for couples to have counseling and for them to bond with themselves and not worry about their kids, because their kids are going to be taken care of. Let there be opportunities for the whole family to do things that they would have never done before.
Because you've not
I
sent
have,
anything
by
to
the
me.
special grace of
You have
God.
not sent anything to me.
He
about
told
it.
me that this year, I am actually on a deadline now. As in, I have a
I
deadline.
like that this is being recorded, so you have it as a reminder.
I actually have a deadline, and this year cannot go by without one of them happening. Now, he ignited it in a way, not in a way, he ignited it. In January, we had, so since he told me 3 years ago, 3 years, because yes, 2024 now, well, it's going to be, we're entering the 4th year, God have mercy, but I have tried to make sure that whenever we're planning trips, they're not just like usual. I mean, people don't know that, but what they don't know is that we're praying for them. What they don't know is that, even before creating what they're going to do. There's a process that's gone before that.
Yeah,
So it's one thing to enjoy travel and enjoy adventure and paragliding and all those things. That's, it's another thing to say, okay, God, what do you have for these people that they don't even know? I've heard what they want, but what do you want for them? And as you've done this, and as we create what they want, how can you put yourself into it so that when they go, it's like, it's transformational, truly, for them all round. How can you do that? And so that's really what that's what we have been doing, whether it is one person or two people or three people.
You've been doing it the past how many years? It's just that it's now you're realizing that this is what I've been doing.
Exactly.
And now I think all I just need to tell you is this. You're in a process. Right. The same way I know I'm in a process. Right.
Absolutely.
Honestly, I didn't think I'll do this podcast this year. I told myself, I don't get sponsored, I'm not doing this thing. Yeah. But here I am doing it. I don't know how far to take me. I know there's a destination. Right. We all have to learn to enjoy the process.
That is honestly
every stage we're in, and to amplify it and enjoy it. And I'm happy that I'm using this to amplify people like you. Right. Like, guys, see what she has done so far. Yeah. If tomorrow someone hears this podcast and said, I heard your podcast and I really like what you've done and how far you've gone, come and be our consultant for the next how many years, and this is how much we'll be paying you. I'm not gonna get diamond for that. I
know, you see.
But the fact is that when I see that, I was like,
yeah, like that was because of the platform.
Because of the platform.
Absolutely.
So, like I was telling my last guest, don't give up. God is bringing, and I love the fact that you put God in, like from the beginning of our gist to now. I've been hearing He said, God said, and that's beautiful because that is what has helped you get where you are today.
Honestly,
somebody else it is the passion, somebody else it is the money they're making from it, someone else is the fame. Yours is God, and I love the way you've centered Him in this, and it's a process you're going through. So don't give up, darling.
Yeah, thank you.
And that retreat, I'm waiting for you to send it to my DM.
Honestly, it's
we should be among your first clients.
And I can't wait. Honestly, you will be. Seriously, I will send it to you. Thank you.
I've experienced you for the Kidszone, for your restaurant, and everything. So I know what you can offer.
Thank you.
All right. So to wrap this up, what advice do you have to anyone coming into the space who has been there, and then to of course our elders? Because we have our elders here, we can never forget them.
Our elders. Elders. Please, see us.
Like that.
See us.
See us, people who are doing our work. You people created the path.
Honestly, see us. Carry us. Pull us along. I mean, I think that for people who are really good at networking, sometimes you find people that you can connect with and you can say, oh, my auntie in this industry and all of that.
Yeah, I have plenty of them.
Which is amazing because you are so amazing at connecting with people. I'm not. It's your and it's amazing.
And I always tell people like you not to feel bad. It's not like I just learned it from someone. It's just my thing.
Your thing. And that's great. And I can definitely learn a lot from you and a lot from people who it's their thing, because sometimes I feel really alone. I feel like there's no one to guide me. Even when I think, okay, let me look for who can guide me, sometimes it just doesn't work out. It doesn't connect. And, you don't want to just be chasing things or chasing people like I know that I would love to actually be seen, like for someone to be like, okay, so this thing, how can, if they understand the mandate, that it's not even about me, Omowumi, it's really about
your brand,
where we're going,
the mandate that God has given you.
Yeah. Then I feel like, so sometimes like maybe he'll send somebody, maybe he'll point someone out to me and say, oh, hey, go and talk to this person. So anyway, that is for the elders. But we say thank you to them because they've definitely done, yes, and
but
we're...
they can still do better.
Yes, and we're working to, to do them as much as we can, as well. To keep it going. And I would say for people in this space, I mean, there's so many people that are doing a lot of amazing things, but I think like what you just said to me, which is don't give up, I think that is super key. And you need to trust you, like trust your instinct, trust you, trust whatever God has given you, trust you, because I think that is what will carry you, when you just know that, okay, this thing I may have a passion for it. I may be making money for it. I may not make money from it right now. I may not even have a passion for it. Let me not even lie.
Let's be honest. People don't have passion for it.
That's the truth.
One of my guests said that there wasn't passion. It was just an opportunity that created itself.
There you go.
Say, girl, boy.
You better get on it. Exactly. And, and I say this because I had a conversation with someone who is doing what God, how... talk about how your gifts make room for you, right? So I was talking to this person, and she was telling me how she doesn't actually like what she's doing, but God said she should do it, and she's gifted for it. And so guess what? She's doing it, and she's seeing how the Lord is using her, but it wasn't what she wanted to do.
Yeah.
So the truth is, there's so many reasons, and so many, there's so many reasons for why we are all where we are.
Passion.
It's not just passion,
money.
not
It's
just money,
fame.
not just fame, not just this, not just anything. It's so many things, and once you just,
yours is a mandate.
It is, and I pray that. That the money will come with the mandate.
It will come. Just keep doing your thing. Don't give up. Don't
my
give up,
goodness.
My sister. You make me say song.
But yeah, just trust that which you have inside of you. Trust the process. Trust that you will come out.
I want to say something as we wrap this up. Guys, it's not that she's not making the money.
Yeah.
She is making the money. But sometimes when you're doing something that's different from other people, I'm seeing it from my own experience, it takes time before you see that traction financially.
Right.
We have a lot of tourism people who are making good money.
Yeah.
Right, like on the go.
Yeah.
It's like food business where you can get it.
Right.
But there are some of us who are chartering different courses, like what she's doing with luxury travel, tailor-made, doing tailor-made tours. It's not easy. I say it from experience. So it's not like she's not making the money, guys. I don't want you to get this wrong. She's just chartering a part where she still has a lot to learn, and she hasn't found anybody that is doing the same thing she's doing. I say that because I'm going through that too. All right. But the truth is that in the long run, if you keep at it, if you keep your mandate and follow the passion, you will see that result financially. Yeah. Nobody just came up and became great. Apple did not just get here.
This is true.
Microsoft did not just get here.
This is true.
Do you know how much money they've lost?
Yes, absolutely. We only hear when it gets
It's only
really
when it's good, everybody hears them. So I just need to put that out there so
this
people
is true.
know
this is true.
and all that. So sis, I wish I could click on and on, but some people are going to cut my hair. So.
I don't even know that time has gone like that.
I don't know it now. That's how it used to be. But thanks a lot for being here, and I'm looking forward to seeing you do great things.
Amen.
I'm waiting for that retreat
so
that I can show it off on social media like I always do. And let's see, I'll bring more customers for you. All right then.
Amen.
All right
Thank you.
So bye, Tiger.
God bless you.
Bye everyone. Till our next edition. See ya.
Bye.